Hi everybody, this is Yvonne. Today I'd like to show you how to make this cute little card that could be used for Father's Day or a male, masculine, or you could do it actually, take the tie out and make it as a girl shirt or whatever. But I'm going to show you how to make this particular one that you can open up. It just opens up like this, and you can put whatever sentiment that you would like, and it ends up looking like a card. It's really simple to make, and a simple piece of paper, cardstock, 8.5 by 11 will make it. So let me show you how, and you'll end up with such a pretty card, and it's fast and easy to do. So let's get started. All right, so are we ready to go? What you're going to need for this project is a piece of 8.5 by 11 cardstock. I have already cut a piece out of this paper pack from DCWV, Indigo Craft and Rose Gold, that I purchased from Sandy on our online craft store. And for some of you who are in our group, if you're seeing this and you're in our group at Craft Swap Canada, it's you can buy these. We have a special price. Sandy is fortunate to give us special pricing. Now, anyway, I have an 8.5 by 11 here, so I want to make this card that you can either, make it for Father's Day, a retirement card, a masculine card, whichever you want. Father's Day is coming up, that's why I mentioned Father's Day, but it's totally up to you where you want to put it. So what you're going to need is a scoring board at this point, and you are going to score all the way down at 2 1/8. So on the 8.5 inch side, you're going to score down at 2 1/8, at 4 1/4, which is the center, and 6 2/8, or 6 1/4. Okay. Then you're going to turn the card stock sideways on the 11 inch side, and you are going to score a line down at 1 inch, a line down at 2 inch, and you are going to score at 6.5 inches. Okay, so that should be enough scoring for the moment. So we're going to put that away, and now we're going to start to fold. So you're going to fold this one in. I want to fold them this way because I want the stripes to be the outside of the shirt. And I'm going to fold this in side here, which should meet and should be straight out, like so. And then you're going to take your cardstock, and on the 1 inch line, where am I here? Okay, 1 inch line, you're going to fold it down to the 2 inch line, and then you're going to fold just your 2 inch line like this. Then you're going to come here on the 6.5 inch line and fold it like that. So you end up having, all your pieces are folded, you end up having this. One piece that's like this. And when you fold this at 6.5 inch, it should meet up with your top piece, which is right there, as close as possible. It's not exactly right on. I wouldn't quite worry about it, but it should match up. Depending how thick your cardstock is, it'll make a difference on how you fold it and how it's going to match. So this is what you end up with, okay? Because this is going to end up as a collar, and then it'd be like you have this at this point without the wings and without the inside. So now what you're going to do is you're going to pull this piece out, and at the 2 inch mark, which is right here where the piece is, you are going to cut a piece here at 3/4 inch. So you'll take your ruler, you're going to measure it at 3/4 inch. Now if you want to eyeball it, you go ahead, but I am going to measure it at 3/4 inch. Then I'm going to take my scissors and I'm going to, pardon me, cut it down to that part. I got a piece of dust in my throat. Like that, okay? So now that I have that piece cut on a 2-inch line, it's at 3/4 of an inch in, I'm going to take and I'm going to make sure that this is as flat as can be. Because it's a premium pack, it tends to be a little bit thicker than most cardstocks, but it can still work. And I'm going to fold that in, put this as straight as I can, which should be pretty close, if not right on the fold line there. And then I am going to push it down here and score it. Can you see what I did there? So I'm going to do the same thing with the other side. I'm going to pull it into that mark and just fold it down straight down, like so. And if you've cut both pieces at the same, you should be pretty much at the same marking. Like that. Okay? So I end up with a collar, like that. Now, what's going to happen is when I fold, this is going to go above like this, which is going to make keep my collar closed, the inside closed. Now you'll open it up again. So now our collar is done. We're good with that. We're going to open it up again completely, and then we're going to take the bottom part, which is the 6 inches, and we are going to go at 3/4 of an inch this way. All right? So at 3/4 of an inch here, we are going to put a mark. 3/4 of an inch. And another one here, 3/4 of an inch. Okay? So here, from this score line to this, you are going to fold on the way out. So I'm going to fold it back in like this, and see where I marked that piece of pencil. I'm going to take it and I'm going to fold it up to that piece right there. I marked my pencil mark at the wrong end. You are going to take your pencil mark and mark it 3/4 of an inch from the fold here. So, which is the same as what I did right here. There it is. There you go. So 3/4 of an inch on each end will bring me up. I had a pen here. It flew away. There you go. You have 3/4 of an inch. I tell you, sometimes they fly away. Here and here. Okay? So that's 3/4 of an inch from here to the fold. All right? Now you're going to take that, and now you're going to fold on the way out. That makes much more sense. So you can take it and measure it. I find the easiest way is, if you're not going to use your scoreboard, is to use a ruler, bring it to the corner right there, and bring it to the corner over there, and just fold on the way out like that. To me, that's the easiest way to do it. But feel free to score it onto your scoreboard if that's what you like. So we're going to do it like this. If you're not sure, you just use an 8.5 by 11 piece of paper and start working with that, and it'll give you a good idea of what you need to do. So now, as you can tell, we have ourselves a shirt with wings, with the arms sticking out. Okay? Now I want to make a necktie. So I'm going to take the remainder of the paper here, and I'm going to cut a strip of 4 inches by 1 inch. So I'm going to cut a strip of 4 inches here, like this, and 1 inch, like that. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go exactly 1 inch to the edge. I'm going to put a marking on a 1/2 inch, which is the center part right there. And then I'm going to go a full inch here, like that. And I'm going to put a mark there, and a full inch here, like that. And I'm going to put a mark there. Now, if you're not sure of yourself, you can put a mark across, or just at this point, take your scissors and cut it off, or take your cutting board and cut it off from mark to mark, like that. Make sure that I have it on there. I just took my scissors because I find that it did as good as a job, and I just followed the line, and like that, and I end up with a necktie. And if you wanted to, and you didn't want to cut it off, see, this is the same, this was 1 inch, you can fold it inside like that, like I folded it. And if you fold it, you can tell I have my lines here, but if you fold it across this way, it makes the same thing. I just find it leaves less bulk if I do it the opposite way. Now, you need to have a narrow space because the necktie is not straight like that. It has a narrow space here. So you're going to mark a 1/4 inch on each end here, on the other end. You're going to go 1/4 inch, which is here, and a 1/4 inch, which is there. And then you're going to take your ruler and go from the corner right here, which was 1 inch, to the marking that you just did there, which was a 1/4 inch, and you can either meet with your scissors or make a line and then cut, like so. So then you can take your scissors and you can cut along from that corner right straight through to that. Now if you're good at eyeballing, you can do it the same way here. You end up with the same thing. So now you end up with a necktie looking like this. But you need your wrap across here. And in order to make a wrap, you need your wrap that'll fit on top of your necktie, because normally that goes under the collar. So in order to do this, you will take another piece of your leftovers and you will cut a piece off at 1 inch by 1.5. So cut 1 inch by 1.5 inch by 1 inch, like that. And then all I did here was I just glued it on the back. So I didn't do anything out of the ordinary other than, I mean, you could mark it and center it and all that kind of good stuff if you wanted to, but I didn't. All I did was eyeball it to the center, like that. And then, because the cardstock is fairly thick, I just wrapped it around like that. And that made my necktie. See how I just wrapped it around. And then you can glue it again on the opposite side, like that. All done. It's as easy as that. Now, when you come back to here, and you have your card, you can slide this one right on the edge here, and you end up having a necktie. So, you don't want to glue it on the collar part, because you need to flip this open. If you did, you could, I suppose, but the collar, the necktie doesn't go up in the back collar, so I would definitely not do it like that. But I would take it and I will glue it all the way down to the center. I'll start right at the edge, right here, and in the center of the collar, like that, and bring it down. And then I have myself a necktie. But I want to build a pocket here. So, how do I do that? Well, I do it pretty much the same way. I'm going to take a piece, and I'm going to go 1 inch by 1.5 inch. 1.5 inch by 1 inch. One and a half inch by 1.5 inch. I'm sorry, guys. 1.5 by 1.5, like this. And then if you want to, you can cut 1/4 inch off on each side, or fold it. And the way you do that is you just measure again, 1/4 inch here. If you wanted to kind of not have your pockets 100% square, you could do it like that. And again here, 1/4 inch. And 1/4 inch this way, like this. And then you can either eyeball it and just kind of fold the corners like that. Simple as that, from corner to corner. See how you have that? And then you can do the same thing over here. You can bend it over for about 1/4 inch, eyeball it if you would like, or a little less, or not at all. It's totally up to you how you want it. And you have yourself a little pocket. Simple as that. And then you would glue it down. This here can be glued all the way going down because you're not going to, I mean, you could put a tissue, I suppose, in it if you wanted to. This would be very pretty also for a bachelor card, a wedding. You could do it in black and white or the color of the wedding. It would be very pretty also. There's so many ways. You just got to use your imagination, and the sky's the limit, really. So by doing this, I have lines, so I have to be careful to make sure that they align. And then from here, if you want to, you can glue down just where the fold is to help it stay down. It's totally up to you. A lot of people do, a lot of people don't. It's like a 50-50 thing. You just bring down so it'll stay down like that, because you need to be able to flex it in order to put your card over it like this, okay? So there you have your card. Now all you need to do is cut out a piece of cardstock, add the cardstock in the center here, and by doing that you just need just a piece of white cardstock. Any cardstock will do. Leftovers will do. Let's see if I can find a piece here to help out, to show you what I mean. There you go. That's one piece I forgot to bring up. So we know that this part across here is 4 inches. So I want 3 3/4 by 4 inches, I believe. 3 3/4 by 4. So I'm going to go 4 inches this way. 3 3/4. And I have myself a center. I'm going to add some adhesive to that. And then I can add my sentiments before or after. It depends on what you like. And I'm just going to center it like this. And there, I have my finished cards. It's as simple as that. Now you could go one step further and put, you could add a trim here if you wanted to, trim on the collar. I mean, the sky's the limit once you start. This is what crafting is all about. But that would look cute if you had a piece of, let's say, if you glued a piece over here to match, it would look really smart. So you can add on as much as you like. It's really simple. I'm going to recap the card so you'll have a good idea of what I mean. And it goes like this. You're going to take a piece of 8.5 by 11, and now I can't open it up anymore because the cardstock is glued down shut, and it keeps this part shut. But you're going to take a piece of 8.5 by 11, and you're going to fold it. You're going to score it so you make 3 even parts. So when you fold it down, you have four even parts, I should say. You fold it down, and you end up with a center fold like this. And then you take it, bring it down like this. This creates your arms. You make a score line at 1 inch and 2 inches. Then when you fold it, you cut it on the 2-inch line, 3/4 of an inch in or so, and that helps you bring down your collar like this, which is this piece here, the same thing like this. And then you make your necktie and you make your pocket and whatever else you want. Now, don't forget that the thicker the cardstock, the harder it is to keep it down, so you may want to glue it. I could put a little glue dot there, that would keep it shut closed too. But you don't want to glue it inside here, you just want to glue it where the fold is in order to keep your collar down. Fit in a card, and then you have yourself a beautiful little gift. I hope you've enjoyed this tutorial, and I hope it was clear enough for you guys to make it. You can make it any size. Like I just made this little one here, and it's the exact same thing. And it's just a matter of folding it and adding it the way you want to. And I have my wings here of my collar that keeps this little guy closed, and it makes a little, it would even make a cute little shower gift. Just a matter of folding it. The folds make it really pretty and fun. So I hope you've enjoyed this. Have yourself a wonderful day, but most importantly, be happy. And I will be back with another tutorial, and hopefully you'll be around to see that one too. All right, take care. Bye-bye.